Germany is a country located in Central Europe, bordered by Poland, the Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Denmark. The country has mountainous terrain in the south, dominated by the Alps, with a plateau and forests in the central and the north. The Rhine, the Danube, and the Elbe River combine with Germany's central location in Europe, and its access to the North Sea allow it to be a leading exporter of one of the most prosperous economies in Europe. Between the late 10th and early 19th century, the territories of today's Germany were the heart of the Holy Roman Empire, a collection of small kingdoms, principalities, and city-states. This led to the development of multiple seats of political and economic power that achieved unity in 1871. While Berlin is Germany's capital and most populous city, the country also has several economic and political centers, including Hamburg, Cologne, Munich, and Frankfurt. Germany's location in the heart of the North European plain has led to constant conflict with its neighbors like France and Russia. After World War II, Germany was divided between East Germany in the Soviet orbit and West Germany integrated into the European Economic Community and NATO. The country achieved unification in 1990. Deutschlandland, of which known as Song of Germany, official national anthem of Germany from 1922 to 1945, of West Germany from 1950 to 1990, and of reunified Germany from 1990. The tune of Germany national anthem was composed in 1796 by Austrian Joseph Haydn and was first performed in 1797 for the birthday of Holy Roman Emperor Francis II. It was called Kaiserin Empressum. This stunning blue-violet bloom is the national flower of Germany. The cornflower or shiny flower became symbolic of Germany during the 19th century due to its color Prussian blue. During this time in Germany, it was customary for unmarried men and women to communicate their marital status by wearing the flower in their buttonholes. Lederhosen are short of knee-length leather breeches that are worn as traditional garments in some regions of German-speaking countries. The longer ones are generally called Butthosen or Kniebuthosen. The Dirndl is a new-fit apron dress worn by German women that consists of bodice or blouse and a skirt. In the 19th century, the Dirndl was the standard uniform of servant girls, but today it is mostly worn in Bavaria and Austria, and like lederhosen usually for celebration. The aprons the German language began in the early Middle Ages with a High German consonant shift. Old High German, Middle High German, and Early New High German spanned the duration of the Holy Roman Empire. The 19th and 20th centuries saw the rise of Standard German and decrease of dialectal variety. The land we know as Germany was first inhabited by modern humans around 35 years ago. The Germanic people, however, arrived in the area nearly 3,000 years ago, as climate change prompted their migration from origin southward towards northern Scandinavia and northern Germany. It is around this time that Germanic languages and cultures began to become distinct from the people further north. As they moved, they encountered and bordered other people such as the Celts, Slavs, Baltic people, and Scythians. Much of what we know of these early people and their life prior to Roman contact comes to us from archaeology, linguistic analysis, and genetic testing. Written records of the people from the northern Europe and ancient times are scarce. The earliest few written accounts fragments come from fascinating yet mysterious men known as Patayas of Massalia, a Greek explorer in the 3rd century BC.
Albert Einstein was a German-born theoretical physicist who developed the theory of relativity, one of the two pillars of modern physics alongside quantum mechanics. His work is also known for its influence on the philosophy of science. He is best known to the general public for his mass energy equivalence formula E equals mc2, which has been dubbed the world's most famous equation. He received the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics for his services to theoretical physics and especially for his discovery of the law of the photoelectric effect, a pivotal step in the development of quantum theory. Adolf Hitler was an Austrian-born German politician who was the dictator of Germany from 1933 to 1945. He rose to power as the leader of the Nazi Party, becoming the Chancellor of Germany in 1933 and Führer in 1934. During his dictatorship from 1933 to 1945, he initiated World War II in Europe by invading Poland on the 1st of September 1939. He was closely involved in military operations throughout the war and was central to the perpetration of the Holocaust, the genocide of about 6 million Jews and millions of other victims. Ludwig van Beethoven was a German composer and pianist. Beethoven remains one of the most admired composers in the history of Western music. His works rank among the most performed of the classical music repertoire. His work spanned the transition from the classical period to the Romantic era in classical music. His career has conventionally been divided into the early, middle, and late periods. The early period, during which he forged his craft, is typically considered to have lasted until 1802. From 1802 to around 1812, his middle period, he showed an individual development from the classical styles of Joseph Haydn and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, and is sometimes characterized as heroic. During this time, he began to suffer increasingly from deafness. In his late period, from around 1812 to his death in 1827, he extended his innovations in musical form and expression. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, baptized as Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theophilus Mozart, was a prolific and influential composer of the classical period. He was born in Salzburg in the Holy Roman Empire. Mozart showed a prodigious ability from his earliest childhood. Michael Schumacher is a retired German racing driver who competed in Formula One for Jordan, Benetton, Ferrari and Mercedes. Schumacher has a joint record 7 World Drivers' Championship titles and at the time of his retirement from the sport in 2012 held the records for the most wins 91, pole positions 68 and podium finishes 155, which have since been broken by Lewis Hamilton, while he still maintains the records for the most fastest laps 77 and the most races won in a single season 13 amongst others. Let's start with an obvious one. Wurst. There are an estimated 1,500 varieties of sausage in Germany, each with their own preparation, ingredients, and unique blends of spices. You'll find these on street stalls almost everywhere across the country. One of the most popular varieties is bratwurst, a pan-fried or roasted sausage made from veal, beef, or pork. Others include Wiener, which is smoked and then boiled, and the blood sausages, Bloodwurst and Schwarzwurst. Germans love their meat dishes, and Sauerbraten, meaning sour or pickled roast, is one of the country's national dishes. You can make a pot roast by using many different types of meat, which you marinate in wine, vinegar, spices, herbs, and then season for up to 10 days. A list of top German foods wouldn't be complete without the mentioning of Schnitzel. Coated in breadcrumbs and often served with a slice of lemon, this thin, boneless cutlet of meat is an iconic part of German cuisine. You can choose a Wiener Schnitzel, a Viennese-style Schnitzel made from veal, or a Schnitzel Wiener Art with pork. Germany's answer to pasta, Spatzel, is especially popular in the south of the country. These soft egg noodles are made from wheat flour and egg, and are often topped with cheese, Käsespätzle, and roasted onions. Although the origin of the dish is disputed and variations are found in neighboring countries, Spatzel remains a Swabian specialty. There, the general cooking rule is to use one more egg than the number of guests. Spatzel is often served with meat dishes that use a lot of sauce or gravy. Bayerische Motorenwerk AG, commonly referred to as BMW, is a German multinational corporation which produces luxury vehicles and motorcycles. The company was founded in 1916 as a manufacturer of aircraft engines, which are produced from 1917 until 1918 and again from 1933 to 1945. Automobiles are marketed under the brands BMW, Mini and Rolls-Royce, and the motorcycles are marketed under the brand BMW Motorrad. In 2015, BMW was the world's 12th largest producer of motor vehicles, with 2,279,503 vehicles produced. The company has significant motorsport history, especially in touring cars, Formula One, sports cars, and the Isle of Man TT. BMW is headquartered in Munich and produces motor vehicles in Germany, Brazil, China, India, South Africa, and the United Kingdom, the United States, and Mexico. Mercedes-Benz is both a German automotive marque and from late 2019 onwards a subsidiary as Mercedes-Benz AG of Daimler AG. Mercedes-Benz is known for producing luxury vehicles and commercial vehicles. The headquarters is in Stuttgart, Baden-Württemberg. The name first appeared in 1926 as Daimler-Benz. In 2018, Mercedes-Benz was the largest seller of premium vehicles in the world. Volkswagen, shortened to VW, is a German automaker founded in 1937 by the German Labour Front and at the request of Adolf Hitler, known for the iconic Beetle, and is headquartered in Wolfsburg. It is the flagship brand of the Volkswagen Group, the largest automaker by worldwide sales in 2016 and 17. The group's biggest market is in China, which delivers 40% of its sales and profits. Popular models of the Volkswagen include the Golf, Jetta, Passat, Atlas, and Tiguan. Dr. Ing HCF Porsche AG, usually shortened to Porsche AG, is a German automobile manufacturer specializing in high-performance sports cars, SUVs, and sedans. The headquarters of Porsche AG is in Stuttgart, and the company is owned by Volkswagen AG, a controlling stake of which is owned by Porsche Automobile Holding SE. Porsche current lineup includes the 718 Boxster Cayman, 911, Panamera, Macan, Cayenne, and Taycan. The quaint old town of Füssen, situated in the Ammergau and Allgäu Alps, and a popular alpine resort and winter sports center, is a good base from which to explore nearby Neuschwanstein Castle, one of Europe's most famous and picturesque royal castles. King Ludwig II of Bavaria built this many-towered and battlement-covered fantasy fortress, the inspiration for Walt Disney's famous theme park castles from 1869 to 1886. In Selmainau, the spectacular Flower Island on beautiful Lake Constance covers an area of 110 acres and attracts many visitors to its beautiful parks and gardens, luxuriant with semi-tropical and tropical vegetation. Access to the island is by boat or via a pedestrian bridge connecting it to the mainland, so be sure to add a little extra travel time in addition to the 2 or more hours needed to properly explore this stunning property. Ample public parking is available on the mainland with some electric vehicle charging stations. Spectacular Sanssouci Park, laid out between 1744 and 1756, is considered the most celebrated example of Potsdam Rococo, reflecting on the personal influence of Frederick the Great. The park includes a lovely Baroque flower garden, more than 3,000 fruit trees, and numerous greenhouses. It's a pleasure strolling through this huge park, especially with the straight as an arrow 2.5-kilometer long avenue, shielded on each side by trimmed hedges, perfect lawns, and gorgeous gardens. The beautiful Black Forest, with its dark, densely wooded hills, is one of the most visited upland regions in all of Europe. Situated in the southwestern corner of Germany and extending 160 kilometers from Pforzheim in the north to Waldshut in the High Rhine in the south, it's a hiker's heaven. On the west side, it descends steeply to the Rhine, crossed by lush valleys, while on the east, it slopes more gently down to the upper Neckar and Danube valleys. The lovely Bavarian lake of Königssee is one of the great beauty spots of the region of Germany referred to as Berchtesgadener Land, also known as the King's Lake. This area near Salzburg is a hiking and biking paradise thanks to its vast network of trails. One of the most popular things to do is follow the attractive footpath located near the east side of Königssee to Malerwinkel or the Painter's Corner, notable for its superb views over the lake and the surrounding mountains, which make it a lovely place to paint some beautiful paintings.